Super Mario Galaxy is a pretty good game. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is also a pretty good game. Which is better? We find out in a debate.
A great debate.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Released, or perhaps dropped down from the heavens themselves, in 2007, Super Mario Galaxy practically reinvented the platforming genre with its mix of fast-paced, diverse gameplay and genuine heart given its presentation of Rosalina and the vast beauty of space. It's a special game to many, myself included, to deliver a package so complete and polished in a fashion that hasn't been matched since.
I actually agree with that.
Really? Well, that was a short video.
It was, however, top 3 years later with the release of Super Mario Galaxy 2.
The sequel has more content, levels, and bosses than the original, and is just generally a bigger, more fine-tuned and streamlined experience. Don't get me wrong, Super Mario Galaxy is a very, very good game, but it's not without flaws, and Galaxy 2 tops it for me despite its admitted lack of originality with that little bit of extra polish that makes it the superior title.
Oh, and I suppose you'll claim nothing was lost in translation as your golden boy was ironing out whatever petty nitpicks you'll dig deep to find with Galaxy 1, because when we start to look at each title's exclusive content, the better game is as clear as day. Think about it, the dull as dishwasher lubber, or the fan-favourite cosmic princess Rosalina, the clunky, underwhelming 2D opening to Galaxy 2, or all the charm of the Star Festival in Gateway Galaxy, Starship Mario or the Comet Observatory. They're both solid platformers, but Mario Galaxy manages to be so much more.
All you've established there is that Galaxy 2 was a more deliberately bare-bones and refined platformer. It stripped away all the extraneous bullshit that wasn't exactly needed in a Mario platformer to apply more focus to the important stuff, levels, bosses, and gameplay. And the extras aren't all bad. The opening was at least short and transitioned quickly into the main game. There's a certain derpy charm to Lubber lacking with Rosalina, and Starship Mario, okay, it's nowhere near as good as the Comet Observatory, but the world map system made replaying levels easier and made the discovery and revelation of new levels much more interesting.
Refined? I was thinking more shallow. Nice try, but you can't spin the lack of good things into a positive. Having a soul and a focus aren't mutually exclusive. Just ask Bjork. Galaxy 1 has the heart of a lion and layers of an ogre. Something subtle such as the optional Rosalina library backstory doesn't in any way disrupt the main game, yet makes you care about all the characters, thereby making each level feel more special. Kinda adds a bit more character to all that's going on story-wise, which if you think about the usual narrative of a Mario game, isn't much. With its paper-thin cast and mindless non-story, Galaxy 2's ending and completion feel empty and lack that lasting punch that is the sign of something truly great.
Alright, cool. So Mario Galaxy had some paper-thin, emotionally manipulative, melodramatic sob story tacked on to tug heartstrings and pretentious hipsters. Now let's talk about the important stuff for, I must stress again, a fucking Mario platformer. Content! And in the level design, boss and power-up department, this game is leaps and bounds ahead.
Let's start with power-ups, which should be pretty easy. More power-ups means more variety, and more variety makes for a more enjoyable experience. Galaxy 2 includes most of the items from the first game, plus Rock Drill and Cloud Suits, plus Yoshi, plus the Bold Berry, Dash Pepper and Blimp Fruit that come with him.
Quantity is one thing, but let's not forget the most memorable power-ups originated in the first game, Bee, Boo, and Spring Mario.
Yeah, only memorable because they so far overstayed their welcome and were shoved into as many galaxies as wasn't necessary.
They all restrict Mario's abilities greatly, making him slower and less able to jump in the case of Boo and Bee transformations, and much harder to control in the case of Spring, which is why being far more underplayed in Galaxy 2 works to the game's advantage. And as far as new gameplay styles go, Yoshi is clearly the best. It expanded usage of the pointer system and offensive tactics, and birthed 3 brand new items, all of which were used superbly in the levels they were designed for.
Yoshi was not a necessary addition, more like a shameless marketing plug. Granted, I see the appeal, but you think he wasn't shoehorned into levels as well? And not one of those other power-ups even holds a candle to the Ice Flower, not even in Galaxy 2, which blended new and old Mario seamlessly to create a new way of looking at water, ice, and lava.
Oh please, that thing had 2 good uses, both of which done better in Cosmic Cove and Shiverburn respectively.
Yeah, cause stealing set pieces from the previous installment is totally the best way to make new games. Sure, the second game had innovations and power-ups, They just weren't very good. Cloud Mario, though useful and cool in concept, is broken, allowing you to skip major parts of stages, the spin drill is a gimmicky mess, and Rock Mario is horribly stiff, awkward, and unsatisfying. More is not always better, and in this case it was much worse.
Hey, Cloud Mario was only used in levels big enough not to be broken or in confined spaces. The spin drill allows a brand new and seemingly obvious way to explore small planets, and Flipspill is a great stage because of it. And Rock Mario, well, it's not used that much and is more than worth it for easily one of the best bosses in either game, Rolladillo.
The boss argument is not one you are going to win, mate. Galaxy 1's cast are far more memorable. Megaleg, Bugaboom, and the Undergrunt Gunner are all practically franchise icons by now.
Right, but with duds like the awful Just a Big Old Ice Cube Baron Burr and the painfully boring Kingfin, they're nothing on the sequel.
What about Dino Piranha, or Major Burrows, or King Caliente, or Bouldergeist, or Fiery Dino Piranha?
All of which feature in Galaxy 2's Boss Blitz Galaxy.
That's just cheating.
Maybe so, but even only including originals, the second game has a far greater variety and many more winners like Giga Laticu, the reimagined Womp King, and the mad sharpshooter on ice, Prince Bacante.
And if we want to talk duds, we need to look no further than the most important fight in the game, the final boss. Which in Galaxy 2 just happens to be a pathetically easy, short, underwhelming mess that can't even begin to compare with the 3-phase masterpiece Bowser Showdown concluding the original.
Alright, game recognized game. The Bowser battles in the original were better. The Bowser Jr. encounters, however, definitely weren't. Megaleg was cool, but so was Mega Hammer, and the brilliance and originality of Gobblegut and the Boom Bunker blow King Caliente and that weird throwing shells at airships fight out of the water. Of course, the first game's bosses are more iconic, that's because it came out first. But the sequels are superior because it builds on the same concepts, makes them bigger, and makes them better.
But okay, let's be real. They're not fight-em-ups, they're platformers, so obviously the most important factor has to be level design.
Agreed, and it's in this field that the obviously best Mario Galaxy game really shines.
Agreed. The better level design is in the better game, which this segment should exemplify.
Agreed, sure, that is correct.
Now, do you want to go first?
No, I don't mind. You can go if you want.
Oh, thanks. Don't mind if I do.
Super Mario Galaxy 2's levels, much like with the power-ups, bosses, and most other aspects, are faster, stronger, bigger, and better. There are more levels, thus more variety, exploring many more interesting level concepts to make a far more complete and wholesome game. There's nothing the first game had that isn't in the sequel.
What about the space? It used the outer frontier and developed it far more, really giving you a taste of the vastness of what's out there and incorporating space motifs into Mario levels. Worlds like Ghostly and Space Junk Galaxies give that sense of scale and wonder outer space can bring, and the experience is richer for it. Galaxy 2 mostly takes place on regular planets with blue skies. Its utterly uninspired settings scarcely deserve the title Galaxy.
Galaxy is a title, not a binding contract, and it still has space, Cosmic Cove and Space Station galaxies for instance, and even employs some space concepts not in the first one, like having an asteroid belt level. Going for a more surreal feel and level concepts was clearly deliberate, as aside from the "oh look, we're in space now" gimmick, most of Galaxy 1 was treading the same ground the series has been on since the 90s. Forest level, beach level, spooky level, fire level, sound levels, change the goddamn record level.
Don't play the unoriginal card, that's not a battle you can win. And sure, other Mario levels have had fire and ghost houses in them, but as far as level design goes, rolling a star through a cylinder of fire during a meteor shower, or racing a Boo through a course of skeletal space debris, I don't think they've been done before. Half of the sequel is just rejected concepts from the first one with no development, whereas these manage to blend new and old Mario together to create a totally fresh take on platforming unseen for the genre.
But like in many stages, such as Dusty Dune or Deep Dark Galaxies, that freshness wore off when it became obvious Nintendo had run out of ideas or taken the theme as far as it would go. So to fill out the 6 or 7 stars needed in each major level, they repeated concepts, repeated levels, there is so much filler. Take Sea Slide Galaxy. In one mission, you keep up with Guppy around the underwater course, then in another mission, race penguins around the same underwater course, and then in another mission, race Cosmic Mario around the same underwater course. Then in another mission, you collect 5 silver stars exploring the upper area. Then in another mission, you collect 100 purple coins exploring the exact same area.
Those were all subtly different experiences, and the area itself was more than rich and dense enough to justify yielding 6 stars. It's this kind of depth that allows for much more interesting design, like how the levels in Honey Hive Galaxy show the emerging conflict between the bees and invading Mandy bugs, or how Melty Molten Galaxy explores lava in a range of increasingly intimidating shapes and sizes, building up to the fight against fiery Dino Piranha.
Not every stage needed a comet star though, and even less did every major galaxy need a tedious purple coin mission.
Maybe so, but the inclusion anyway provided a sense of structure and expectation lacking in the more freeform composition of the sequel. It connected all the levels without spoiling their secrets.
If you want structure, get into building. Video games are supposed to be fun and full of surprises. Each of Galaxy 2's levels could have 1 or 2 missions, maybe a secret star or maybe a comet, and that freedom allowed each layout to be tailor-made best fitting for that specific level.
But the kinds of more nuanced levels the original excels at, like Toy Time or Battle Rock, can't be done in only 2 or 3 missions as Galaxy 2 tries to do.
Sure they can. Just look at Shiverburn Galaxy from the second game.
Oh, you mean the blindingly obvious copy-paste of the original's Freeze Flame Galaxy?
Conceptually, yes, but looking at them side by side is the best example why Galaxy 2 is the better game. They both combine fire and ice, but if you look at the 6 missions of Freeze Frame Galaxy, only 1/2 of one of them actually has fire and ice at the same time, which is what the rest of the galaxy was building up to. Shiverburn only has 3 stars, and right from the get-go, every planet explores that concept in a slightly different way, including the excellent boss fight, and then the game moves on. That's how it treats all its levels, and it's much better designed because there's less filler and it doesn't waste your time. Not including the minuscule 1-starers, the original has 17 galaxies to the sequel's 49. Which is why, while Galaxy 1 was wasting time going through the same tropes, Galaxy 2 can have whole levels based around factories where you guide chomps into holes, or a fairy tale kingdom in the sky, or a stage where the platforms change in time with music.
What good is variety with the depth of an Adam Sandler flick? Galaxy 2 tries so hard not to waste space, it ends up feeling just shallow. Gone are the expansive worlds to explore, and replace them with a bunch of pretty coloured hallways with no personality or finesse. The original is better for being a proper, meaty 3D experience. I mean, what good is a 3D platformer if there's nothing to explore?
Except, how much exploration really was there? Oh sure, you can wander around these vast planets for extra coins and 1-ups, but why would you?
Mario Galaxy 1 slips in this weird limbo between the non-linear and totally linear 3D Mario platformers, in this worst of both worlds, where level design is obtuse and cumbersome, but with no freedom or branching paths, as in each mission there's only one way you're allowed to go, with maybe one secret path if you're lucky. Although Galaxy 2's stages are more restrictive, in terms of exploration it has the first one beat, with actual important items to look for being the comet medals and green stars.
Oh yeah, the green stars. The epitome of crappy level filler. Because hiding the last level behind locating 120 dingdads spread through levels you've already played is totally legitimate content worthy of an excellent Mario game.
Better than complete the whole game again as Luigi. The green stars at least offer some new challenge and new ways to view the levels. More content making the game bigger, more complete, and better.
It's easy to have more on this and that when you're piggybacking off such a polished game using the same engine, mechanics, enemies, most power-ups, music, and even some levels and bosses. When it comes to original content, the first game is in a different league in terms of amounts of it. And there's certainly something to be said for being a more important game, coming first, breaking molds and actually innovating, rather than copy-pasting the design and trying to one-up the predecessor.
This argument is about which is the better game. What came first is irrelevant. All Super Mario Galaxy 2 needed to do was what it did, trim the fat and build on areas that could be improved, and as such, every aspect is superior.
Every aspect? It's not like the soundtrack could compare.
Oh really?
Gusty Garden Galaxy,
Fluffy Bluff Galaxy,
Rosalina's Storybook,
World 3 Map Screen,
Megaleg,
Puzzle Plank,
Gateway Galaxy,
Cosmic Cove,
Space Junk Galaxy,
Bowser Jr. Stage Theme,
Nemesis King Koopa,
Bowser's Galaxy Generator.
Well, you know what? Galaxy 2 actually does have amazing music when I think about it.
Thanks man, that's nice.
No, I mean it. It built great on the first game's tunes and kind of went off into a whole load of different directions and genres that totally worked.
Oh, stop. But you know, the warmth and breadth of the original soundtrack combined with it being the first fully orchestral Mario score possibly makes it even better.
Glad to hear you admit it.
What the f***?
And another thing that really grinds my gears, why doesn't Galaxy 2 just let players make their own mistakes instead of intervening every opportunity it gets to handhold? As if the barrage of tutorials wasn't bad enough, it seemed to think the cosmic guide which took you straight to the end of each level was a good idea.
That feature is optional.
But the irritatingly constant notifications about them aren't.
The game only needed those support systems because it was much harder. More pits and black holes, the entire special world is tougher than the most difficult Galaxy 1 stages, and need I even mention Grandmaster Galaxy?
Although it's not like you'll ever see a game over screen given how many 1-ups you're bombarded with, and be steady with singing the praises of the challenge of World S given 4 of the 7 levels are straight up just stolen content, adding no more in the way of creative input than a collective OMG, who did this? And the hand-holding in the sequel goes deeper than directly helping you through. Some of these boss designs are offensively patronizing. Look at Gobblegut, the Mega Hammer, and worst of all, Saw Betty. I wonder where the weak point is. I really wonder. I can't quite see where it might be.
Yeah, well, at least it did coins right.
Coins?
Yup, coins.
In Galaxy 1, coins are health and can be obtained from enemies instead of star bits. But you only ever need 1 or 2, there aren't any stars for collecting 100 coins like in the early 3D games. And they don't stack from level to level, so you'll never get any extra lives out of them either. They're still scattered around in abundance, but have little to no purpose given you're going to always want star bits to more quickly get extra lives, as both require 50 for an extra life, but star bits are far easier to obtain, so you'd always go for those, and only need star bits for hungry Lumas in levels and in the hub world. Coins seem to only be included out of tradition.
Yeah, I guess, but how is this even a problem?
Well, in Galaxy 2, Lumas in stages need coins, not star bits, meaning there's a variety in what you need to collect and prioritize, and they stack between levels. It makes an admittedly small aspect of the game more satisfying. Collecting coins just feels right. It's an example of a more subtle aspect of the sequel's superiority and emblematic of a larger trend of mechanics. Cite also cosmic clones, the letter system actually being used, enemy variety, checkpoints being shown by flags, background detail playing as Luigi, and the 2-player mode that have only been pushed to their fullest potential in the second game.
Oh, that's convenient. Hand-holding, the hub world, storytelling, and innovation don't even matter, but let's waste a minute on coin collection. Galaxy 2 is like a tasting menu, whereas the original is a hearty roast. Fresh and expansive levels and iconic bosses sewn together through a heartwarming story and superb hub world, craft an experience that'll stick long after the credits roll. Rosalina and her library give real substance to the world, not only serving as a character to guide you, but also one to become emotionally invested in, making you even gladder that she's rooting for you from the sidelines. The atmosphere of the levels were at the forefront. Even in some of the brightest, friendliest levels, there was a certain cosmic aura about it, and the soundtrack is nothing short of breathtaking. Innovative, charming, and endlessly entertaining, Super Mario Galaxy is nothing short of the best Mario platformer and best 3D platformer of all time.
Galaxy 1 was a fantastic achievement and a huge step in the right direction for Mario, but how innovative it was can far too often blind fans to the fact it was far from perfect. Some levels were creative, others were tedious and drawn out, some bosses were iconic, some were dull and unnecessary. But more importantly, on a structural level, the rigidity of the original's layout forces the developers' hands too often, for instance giving every main galaxy a purple coin star, prankster comet star, and a secret star. Regardless, following a game as beloved as Super Mario Galaxy can't have been easy, but Galaxy 2 does so with gusto, providing a non-stop barrage of creativity and passion in the challenges, power-ups, and presentation. Cutting away from the backstory, hub world, and big, empty levels made the game more streamlined, and the free-form approach to mission structure gave the levels more identity and ensured the game was fun every minute, from the first steps on Space Station Galaxy to the final Daredevil run on Grandmaster, making this, I believe, the best 3D platformer of all time, and surely the better Mario Galaxy game.
And that's that then.
Huh. Very well.
So, what now? Do we just cut to black?
Those were some opinions. You have your own opinions? Think we missed anything? Post your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to answer the straw poll in the description to answer once and for all, Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2.
Thanks, and thank you for watching. Links on the screen for more MasterJakeStudios on the left, my Zelda 1 epic exposed roast on the right, and our top 10 3D platformers if you didn't watch it before this in the middle. And if you did, the link's still there to watch it again. Subscribe to MasterJakeStudios, remember to like and share, subscribe to MasterJakeStudios, and thanks for watching.